What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Gab, the Sultan of Sando here with the man, the myth, the legend himself, the prophet, Mr. Maui Yap. Kamusta, Maui? We did not expect na magiging exciting yung recording natin on a Wednesday.
Mahirap maging the prophet sa UAAP season ngayon. So many unexpected things happening. But we expected this in the preseason. Diba? I think we said the race for the Final Four could be crazy this year.
And it has been crazy. And by the way, no Sam here tonight. Again, taking care of some stuff as a corporate slave. So he'll be, who knows, he might join later. But for now, he's not with us here on the podcast. He'll join in a later episode, if ever. But before we move on to that crazy Adamson versus UST game, we do want to say that this episode is brought to you by our friends from Varsity Lifestyle Co., the official licensed merchandise of the UAAP. And as you can see, you can get yourself some Adamson merchandise if you're so hyped about the Adamson Falcons today because they just pulled off one heck of a win. So you can get a varsity jacket, you can get shirts, you can get caps. And if you do want a discount, you can use our voucher code Boleros upon checkout to get 10% off your order. So you can click the website. We'll put it in our description below. You can get yourselves some merchandise to support your school, especially the Adamson Soaring Falcons, who are now fourth in the UAAP standings. Who knew? But yeah, if ever you're interested, just go to the website of Varsity Lifestyle Co. and use the code Boleros to get 10% off your order. Okay, Maui, I think it's safe to say this was not the game we expected when we saw that it was Adamson versus UST on the game schedule. I think you would agree that first half was crazy because Adamson was playing UST's game. What did you think of the first half, Maui?
Actually, you mentioned it about our group chat. You couldn't believe that Adamson was able to keep up with UST in terms of scoring. I think they got pretty hot in the first half, hitting 8 to 10 3-pointers.
Eight
8 3-pointers nung first half. And I was scared for them, to be honest, as I mentioned in our group chat. Generally speaking, when Adamson wins a game, they hold an opponent, a scoring opponent, to their season low. But lo and behold, it was a very high scoring game from the get-go. Both teams were pretty hot. UST went on a big run. Adamson and then went on a big run also. Generally up and down, something you wouldn't expect from an Adamson game. And I really think that if it were not for Cedric Manzanos, I think that was his best UAP quarter or one of the best. In third quarter, during the game a while ago, I think Adamson would have lost that game. But there could be an argument that USC, the coaching staff or the players on the court during those last 30 seconds are to blame. I mean, we see teams in the UAAP score single digits. And yet, Adamson, who is one of the lowest scoring teams in the UAAP, maybe for the past 5 seasons since Coach Nash got this team, was able to rally and hit crucial 3-pointers, force crucial turnovers. And I think si Fortsky Padrigao uncharacteristically missed some free throws. Nick Caballero also missed some free throws.
4 free throws in total, Maui. 4 free throws.
4 free throws by their best 2 players. I think si Fortsky is a decent free throw shooter. before those two misses. Si Caballero is an up and down free throw shooter. But still, uh, if it's the most crucial part of the game, you have to hit your free throws. That's that.
Collins Akowe did.
So let's hit free throws to get them the lead in overtime. But I think USC really lost that game on that late game blunder during the fourth quarter. Adamson was just playing on another level, hitting their three-pointers. I think this is their peak offensive game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is their highest scoring game in the
It definitely
UAAP.
is, Maui. I can't remember them scoring 90 points in a UAAP game ever. At least since Coach Nash was the coach, I never have never seen Adamson score 90 points.
I don't think we've seen them hit 15 three-pointers in a game also. They had 8 in the first half and then went cold in the third quarter. But lo and behold, in the overtime period and in the end of the fourth quarter, they started to get hot. Matthew Montebon, finally, I think this is his breakout game. Probably one of his best games of the season. He's been pretty cold for Adamson. But yeah, we who would have thought Adamson is now the hottest team in the league with a 4-game losing streak. A lot of people
winning.
4-game winning streak. Baka ma-jinx pa. But who would have thought, di ba? I mean, everybody's talking about Ateneo with a 5-game losing streak. Now we're talking about Adamson with a 4-game winning streak and UST with a 3-game losing streak.
Yep. Definitely the twists and turns of this UAAP season, Maui, are numerous. Ang dami nangyayari. I think someone commented on our post earlier that the top 2 teams from the start of the season, UST and Ateneo, they're now out of the Final Four picture because technically, despite having the same record, Adamson is number 4 now because they beat UST twice. So, grabe, no? I think Adamson came from a 1-4 start and now they're 5-4. That is crazy. Yeah, but as I said, Maui, this was not the game we expected. I was actually anticipating that this was going to be a slow game. Adamson will try to go zone, will try to press and try to slow down the UST offense because that's how they won in their first round encounter. So, nagtaka ako kung bakit nakikipagtakbuhan itong Adamson sa UST. Diba? I think all 3 of us in our chat were saying, why is Adamson doing this? Why is Adamson playing UST's game? Yes, they were hitting their shots. They were hitting their threes. Pero I think same tayo, this is gonna bite them in the ass. And they're playing with fire. Because you let UST run. You let UST get a rhythm. That's pretty dangerous because they're a very good offensive team. They're a highest scoring team in the league. And you let them see the ball go through the hoop that many times, you're gonna let them get hot and catch a rhythm. You're gonna let them move the ball around. So very shocked ako yung with the first half. I did not think that this was how this game was gonna go. I was actually telling some of our subscribers, if you like defense, you would probably want to watch the Adamson versus UST game. Lo and behold, we got an offensive game. And I've never thought I would utter these words. Adamson was an entertaining watch offensively. I can't believe I'm saying that now in this game. Adamson is pretty entertaining. At least for that game, diba? I did not expect that to happen. Pero in the third quarter, Maui, I think it came through. Yung sinabi natin that they were playing with fire because they went cold. And UST started out the quarter with defensive stops. Adamson was missing their threes, and UST, I think, went up around 7 points or around a comfortable margin. And if it, as you said, Maui, if it wasn't for Cedric Manzano, and I do have to give a shout out to baby boy Cedric Manzano, he was cooking Collins Akowe in the post. Hindi ko alam kung napansin mo yun, Maui, ever since the first half. Pang makuha ni Cedric Manzano sa post, walang masabi si Collins Akowe. The post moves, the footwork, Colin Sakoe can only dream and try to learn that kind of footwork from Cedric Manzano.
5 inches smaller.
Diba? Ang galing eh. And there was even a point in the fourth quarter, Maui, where Cedric Manzano was posting up Colin Sakoe. Kasi Colin Sakoe yung nagba-back down. Binabangga niya si Colin Sakoe. Si Colin Sakoe yung gumagalaw. Crazy strength from Cedric Manzano. We've always known that he was a very strong guy. Really almost unstoppable when he gets the right position inside the paint. But I never knew that he was this strong, that he would move Colin Sakoe out of the way in post-ups. But pretty creative. And sabi mo nga, if it weren't for Cedric Manzano, they would actually be down big in this game because he was the only one providing offense in that third quarter, especially late in that third, where he was getting putbacks, he was getting drop passes in the middle of the paint and scoring on baskets. So kudos to him. In the fourth quarter, akala ko Maui, it was over when si Mark Clement went on a personal 8-0 run. Hindi ko lang kung naalala mo yun. It stretched the lead to 77-66. And I honestly thought it was over then. Sabi ko, wala na. Kasi Adamson was cold.
Manzano was gassed.
Manzano was gassed also. Diba? Yung nakaluhod, yung naka-bent over na siya and he was breathing so hard. He couldn't even get down the floor. He was trying to carry so much of the load. At that point, I think most fans would have had UST winning this game easily because honestly, as an 11-point lead, with the Adamson team that we've come to know, is kind of insurmountable because they don't really shoot it this well on a regular basis. But I have to give a shout out to you did not mention him, Maui. He top scored for Adamson in this game. Ray Allen Torres got hot in that right after that 8-0 run by Mark Clement. Ray Allen Torres came alive and he was hitting threes, he was hitting mid-rangers, and he caught fire and he brought Adamson back into this game. So those two guys, man, si Cedric Manzano and si Ray Allen Torres, while they did not hit the game-winning shots and the game-tying shots, si Montebon and si Matt Erolon yun, but I have to give them a shout-out because they carried Adamson in the time when Adamson needed it the most. When they were cold in the third quarter, when they were down big in the fourth quarter, it was Cedric Manzano and it was Ray Allen Torres. So I thought it was over then, Maui, 77-66. I thought it was also over when it was 88-80 when Jello Crisostomo hit that corner three of an amazing pass from Fortsky Padrigao. I think that was less than 2 minutes remaining. Sabi ko, this is over. 8 points, less than 2 minutes with an Adamson team that does not like offense or just is not very efficient on offense. Sabi ko, this is over. Pero ito yung sinabi mo mga Maui. 4 missed free throws. 2 by Fortsky Padrigao, 2 by Nick Caballero. They weren't able to extend the lead. I think Adamson hit a free throw to cut it to 88-81. Then Montebon hit a corner three, which I thought was was that it? Yeah, which I thought it was a foul. Diba? And then 88-84, sino ba nakabasket? I think it was Ray Allen Torres also who hit the basket. Who hit 2 free throws. And then we have to talk about that last play. It was a very smart defensive set. Whoever thought of it, si Coach Nash or si Coach Gilbert Loud, they immediately trapped Kyle Paranada in half court, forcing a turnover which eventually led to a Montebon game-tying 3. Was this a choke job, Maui? Do you think UST choked?
It was, in my opinion. For those that play Dota, they say when you lose a game leading by so much, you throw a game. This is this is the classic choke job by UST. A throw job. They gave this game away. They were leading by 8, as you mentioned, after that Jello Crisostomo 3-point shot off a spectacular play generated by Padrigao. But Padrigao, in those 30 seconds remaining, missed 3 free throws. Caballero missed 2 free throws, and Adamson took advantage, hitting 2 3-pointers and hitting 2 free throws. I couldn't believe my eyes, to be honest, when it was happening. I think we were chatting. We thought the game was over. I
Nag-zone
think
out na ako, Maui. Nag-zone out. Sabi ko, wala na to. I'm gonna continue working here. Tapos, bigla lang tingin ko, ano nangyayari?
gitna ng working day, di ba? Kasi, di ba? Gitna ng working day, so you wouldn't expect that it would be that crazy. If they were leading by 30 seconds to go, you'd probably start to tune out. I think some of the followers of Boleros on X message me. Some of them tuned out. Was waiting for the next game already. Getting ready to watch the next game. And lo and behold, that was a crazy way to end the fourth quarter. And si Ray Allen Torres was spectacular. I love his stroke. It's funny kasi yung name niya is Ray Allen Torres and he has a very beautiful stroke. I love how he scores from all levels. He has a good mid-range shot. He has a good three-point shot. And he's been clutch for Adamson. This is the second game that he's done this. Really willed him to win. Our friend si Pong Ducanes, actually, I'm shocked to see yung tweet niya a while ago. He apparently scored 18 of his points during the fourth quarter and overtime. That's how crazy his game was.
Hit a 3 also in overtime.
Diba?
And I do want to give a shout out to Adamson's defense. I think when they were up 94-93 Maui, they had a string of plays where Earl Medina blocked Nick Caballero fadeaway. Hindi ko alam kung nakita mo yun. Where si Nick Caballero was posting up on the left side of the court and then did his patented turnaround fadeaway. Tapos Earl Medina, huling-huli, right on top of the fadeaway, blocked Nick Caballero, saved the ball. Then on the ensuing play, Jello Cosostmo was blocked by OJ Ojericre. UST recovered the ball. It went to Fortsky. He tried to attempt a mid-range. It was blocked by Cedric Manzano. So classic Adamson. Yes, they were hot from offense, but their defense was still bringing them home in this game. And I have to give a shout out to Colin Sokoe. I think he gave them the lead. He hit 3 free throws to give them the lead at 96-94.
Ironically. He was the guy hitting free throws.
Again, channeling his own his inner Shaquille O'Neal and hitting it when it matters. And sabi ko nga, I actually thought it was over then. Sabi ko, okay, it's up. They're up by 2. I think that's pretty comfortable already, yung given how tight this game was. And pero on that last play, smart by Coach Nash not to. I don't think he could have called the timeout because it was off a missed free throw. But they got the rebound, they pushed the basketball, and ito nga yung sabi mo, Maui, when you say, ang ganda ng ball movement nila on this last possession that they had. I think it was Ray Allen Torres, drove in the left side of the court. Yeah, you drove to the basket, went baseline, kicked it out in the corner. I think it was it Montebon?
I think it's Montebon.
It was Montebon. He faked. Ball, you drew a defender, passed it to the wing to Matt Erolon for a 4-point play. And Adamson was celebrating at this point, Maui. Si Cedric Manzano was raising his hand. He was going to the bench. I don't think he noticed that there was 2.6 left on the clock. So I don't know if it was intentional also because it was a 4-point play. Do you think it was intentional that Coach Nash told Matt Erolon to miss that free throw? Because Matt Erolon is very automatic from the free throw line. Because if they made the free throw, UST could have called a timeout. Did you think this was intentional?
Yeah, I think so. They had 2.6 seconds. When Akoy got the ball, they didn't know what to do. I think he passed it to Fortsky and Fortsky had to heave it from 3/4 court. I think that was a pretty good strategy by Coach Nash. if you know Coach Nash, he knows how to maximize talaga yung game stoppages and these types of strategies. Masterful job by Coach Nash. I mean, I think that last play shows us why they are on a 4-game win streak. Not because they hit the game-winning basket, but because you saw the trust from those three players, di ba? Ray Allen Torres could have forced it inside. Matthew Montebon could have shot that 3-point shot. He hit the game-tying shot in regulation. But no, they took their time and found the open man and got Matthew Erolon that 4-point shot. Masterful job by Adamson. And it's one of the main reasons why they've turned their season around this quickly.
Agree. And as I said, who would have thought that they are now in 4th place and UST is down to 5th? With the way this season started, sobrang yung kagulo. O sige, Maui, let's go naman to the UST side of things. What did you see from you? Nakikiraman sa mga UST fans. As I said, ito yung feeling namin pang si Joric Bautista, palagi kami pinapatay. So
we know what you feel.
We know what you feel. We can empathize with you.
So that's the kind of season we've had too.
Yeah. So UST fans out there, yung mga nanonood sa amin, we feel you. Pero Maui, what did you think went wrong for UST in this game? Aside from the choking job in the 4th quarter and the last few seconds, what else went wrong? How did they put themselves in this position down to 5th? Go ahead, Maui.
Yeah, I think from this game alone, we know that Adamson likes to shoot a lot of 3-pointers. I think they should have limited Adamson's 3-point attempts. They made 15 3-point attempts out of 36. That was a 40% mark. In basketball, that's crazy efficiency. I think they could have done a better job of protecting your 3-point line. But Adamson pretty much really did a good job also. As evidenced by that last shot. I think it's a bit concerning kasi Caballero's been struggling the past few games. I think it's no coincidence. When Nick Caballero, much like si Kimani Ladi, when he started to struggle, they started to lose. Despite Mark Clement having 18 points a while ago, it's still so important that you get Caballero going. There was actually a certain part of the game that I asked you, is Caballero injured? Kasi I wasn't seeing him on the court.
Kasi parang hindi mo siya yung ramdam, no?
Hindi mo ramdam eh.
Sa court?
Just when we were seeing that much like Figueroa, when Caballero's on the floor, it feels different for UST. And during this game, and I think some of the games that they've lost in this 3-game losing streak is look mortal, not invincible. If you look at yung scoring leaders for this season, he's actually slidden down to number 2. Si Momoe na ang number 1 at 18 a game. During the early part of the season, si Caballero was averaging 20. So clearly, the past few games, I don't even have to look at the numbers to know that he's been struggling a lot. And free throws in this game, I think they have to be more composed. If you want to be a championship team, just asal. You have to hit your free throws. You have to take care of the ball in crucial moments. I think the reason why Adamson has started to go on a run, on this 4-game run, is because they've started to know how to close out games. And I think UST is the complete opposite. During the first round, they were pretty good at closing out games, but during this 3-game losing streak, they've really struggled to maintain that sort of composure. And I think si Coach Pido is starting to experiment with Portsky Padrigao on the bench again and Paranada going as a starter. And it paid dividends during the start of the game. Paranada was pretty good during the start of the game, but unfortunately invisible during the latter part. I think si Crisostomo has to be more consistent also. He was one of the top breakout players ng off-season, and so far we've seen a mixed bag. Maybe he likes playing against Ateneo. But yeah,
Doesn't like playing against Ateneo. Parang everyone loves playing against Ateneo.
yeah. I think he has to be that consistent third man because it's Mark Clement is more important on the defensive end. There has to be a fourth guy to be more consistent. Si Asido has been up and down this season. He had some good time a while ago, but generally speaking, the other players haven't really contributed a lot. Estacio has been, I would say, a bust from what we've seen 2 off seasons ago.
Since last season, no?
Di ba? I think the hatred for Estacio, if you look at social media, has been there because of the expectations. He hasn't broken out. Unlike unlike Francisco from NU was started to break out and materialize yung play niya from the off season. But it's a bit concerning. UST fans are so devastated, much like Ateneo fans right now. I think what's so frustrating is I think before the 3-game losing streak, si Coach Pido said pa that this is the biggest chance that they have for a championship for the longest time. And lo and behold, just in a week's time, they've started to falter. I think that's how crazy this UAAP season has been. You can win 4 straight games, much like Ateneo, but you can also lose 5 straight games. You can be at the top of the standings from the first round and still falter in the second round. I think UE gave us a glimpse of that from the previous season, and I don't know. They definitely have to play better. I think their schedule is pretty tough to end the elimination round.
Yeah, they haven't played UP. They haven't played NU yet. FEU is yung push over as well. So they have an uphill battle right here. Pero agree ako yung sa'yo, Maui. This was the UST team I saw in the preseason. I don't know if you guys remember that or if you remember it, Maui, when I said, which is why I didn't have UST very high on our power rankings because I don't believe in a team that can't stop anyone from scoring. And ito yung UST team na nakita ko nung preseason. They were allowing a lot of easy baskets. They were allowing a lot of open threes. They were turning the ball over. I think they had 16 in this game. You compound that with missing 10 free throws. They missed 10 free throws in a 1-point loss. So LaSalle will be proud. Ateneo yung will be proud. yung of that free throw shooting number. But yeah, it's worrying kasi, Maui. The past two losses by the USC Growling Tigers, they haven't shot well from 3. Yung ating sinabi, diba? Parang nag-struggle sila yung hitting their outside shots against Adamson and against LaSalle. The teams were playing zone and they were being forced to shoot threes and they couldn't hit threes. In this game, they hit their threes. They hit 37% of their threes. But the problem was they were also allowing Adamson to shoot pretty well. As you said, Maui, I think it's not even it's a top of the list in terms of scouting report for every other team. For every other team, Adamson likes to shoot threes, so close out on them on threes, contest their threes. You can't allow Adamson to shoot 41% from 3. This is the team that shoots less than. I'm trying to remember what Brix Ramos said on the broadcast. They shoot around 25% from the field, Maui. From the field on average. So this is a team that struggles offensively. How can you let them shoot 42% from the field and 41% from 3? That is crazy. I attribute it also to hot shooting, but I also attribute it also to bad defense. And to an extent, sloppy offense because it led to a lot of easy baskets for for Adamson in the fast break because they were turning it over a lot. I think they were, especially in the first half, they were pretty sloppy yung with the basketball. Ikaw, Maui, what do you are you still high on UST's chances to make the Final Four or at least make the top two?
Mahirap, to be honest. Actually, I was in a wedding the weekend. And a lot of the UAP fans, yung mga friends ko na UAP fans doon, were asking me who I think is the favorite. And I said, I do not know, to be honest. With the way the season is going right now, you cannot put your foot off the gas. 1 week can change the whole complexion of your season. And I think UST has done that. I think they have relaxed coming off that number 2 from the first round. I think they have to regroup. I think they have to put in more effort. They have to be more composed. It's crazy. We saw them out-rebound Adamson massively in this game, plus 17 in rebounding, yet they had 3 less field goal attempts. I think that tells you a big story. It means you're turning the ball over. It means you're not also creating a good offense. Adamson, UST has to do a better job, especially on the defensive end. I think they've really struggled mightily and against teams that really play good defense. And if they are to prove to us that they are legitimate title contenders, not just Final Four contenders, then they have to be more consistent on both ends of the floor. I think they struggled naman sa offense on their first Adamson game, the other loss. They have to play better. They have to wake up. Everybody has caught up to Colin Sakoe. I think every team has done a better job of not scouting how to stop Colin Sakoe. And now teams have also done a better job of how to limit Nick Caballero, how to make Nick Caballero work for his baskets. First and foremost, I think they have to get Nick going. He's so important for their offense. When he's popping, their offense is pretty hard to stop. You don't know how to stop that guy when he's going, and I think that's the first thing. It's pretty hard to say, but anything is really possible in the UAAP, di ba? I mean, Ateneo fans have been waiting for Ateneo to end their losing streak, and now it's at 5. Who knows? Maybe UST's losing woes continue. Every team is playing double time. It's a second round. Every game literally matters.
So congratulations to the Adamson Soaring Falcons. What a game. Channeling their inner Indiana Pacers / Tyrese Haliburton and pulling one heck of an improbable win out of their asses. So congrats to Adamson. Let's go briefly to the second game, LaSalle versus UE. I don't think we'll spend much time of this. It was a very convincing win, I think, for the De La Salle Green Archers. Any notes, Maui?
Yeah, I think I have to give a shout out lang again to Luis Pablo. I think he's really making the most of the playing time, di ba? If people were saying early in the season, Luis Pablo made the mistake of transferring out of UP, this is just proof of why it is sometimes better to go to a situation where you could get more playing time. And I think he's played spectacularly on both ends of the floor. I like yung energy niya and grit niya. I think that's what he brings to the table right now. You don't even have to look at the box score. Diba? Just look at the pictures nung game against UP when that's how he plays. He plays hard. He gives it his all. And I think very good for him. Finally getting his chance in the seniors division after being an MVP in the NCAA. I think it's very, we've always said in the past, LaSalle it's more dangerous when a lot of players are contributing. And in this game, 6 players scored over 8 points. Jacob Cortez did not have to score 20. Mike Phillips only had to attempt 7 shots. that's when Lasal is at their most dangerous. When these two guys can do what they do best, with Mike Phillips providing energy on both ends of the floor, and Jacob Cortez being that playmaker for Lasal. I think JC Macalalag also deserves a lot of shout out or credit the past two games. Clearly playing a lot better after removing that mask. I think it really bothered him a lot.
Yeah, essentially yung same notes tayo, Maui. Yung is Lasal peaking? I'm kind of you thinking about that. I think they're peaking because they're playing really well. They're hustling on defense, and as you said, the others they are contributing. 9 points from Dungo, Makalalag with 8, Goliana with 8, Marasigan with 6, Abadam with 4 off the bench. Heck, even si Gian Gomez hit a 3. So I think Coach Topex went really deep into his bench. I think we got even the first action from Denzel Dagdag, yung that big guy, yung from Xavier. So I think that goes to show the state of this game. LaSalle was up big, especially for majority of the second half. There's nothing much to talk about here except on UE side. I am scared to go up against Precious Mamuwi on November 5, Maui. I think he's gonna feast against our Ateneo Blue Eagles. I don't think merong makakapigil kayo kay Precious sa Ateneo unless Divine Adili magically returns to the lineup. But yeah, very convincing win by the De La Salle Green Archers. I don't think there's a lot of takeaways from this game. It was pretty one-sided. UE yung put up a great fight. So they'll be getting Welo Lingo back also in their game against Ateneo next week. So let's see.
The timing.
That's another guy who loves playing against Ateneo, si Welo Lingo. So it's not looking good for Ateneo, but a very good win for LaSalle. And now I think they're number 2. They're officially number 2. I think they beat UP, so they're tied with UP, but they're now number 2. So who would have known? From 2 and 3, now on a 4-game win streak as well, like the Adamson Soaring Falcons, they're now number 2.
After all the injuries.
Yeah, which is incredible to say. So, Coach Topex, you're definitely safer for now.
Coach Nash din. You have to see si Coach Nash definitely out of the hot seat. Si Coach Tab ba ulit? Kung nasa hot seat ako. At si Pido, Coach Pido.
Yung feel ko na nanonood ka ng Boleros, Maui, si Coach Nash at si Coach Topex. Sabi na, ba't kami nasa hot seat? Sige na nga, mag-step up kami ng coaching namin. Okay, so that's it for the games for the day. So as a bonus segment, we were planning to do this as a separate episode, but I do have a pretty early flight and it's getting late at night. So I am gonna be away out of the country for the next couple of days. We probably depende, baka si Maui and Sam yung mag-record ng something on Saturday or Sunday kung ayaw nila mag-visit sa Patay. But so yeah, we'll be on kind of a break also, maybe Sunday or Monday yung aming next episode. But we are putting out our top 5 MVP candidates so far for season 88. And yes, we are bringing back my prenup pictures from my wedding because it is Polo Gab's top 5 MVP candidates for UAAP season 88 so far. So just to explain to everyone how this works, I will give my list. Okay, this is my list. Maui will react and perhaps Maui will say who is in his top 5. Okay, so if you're looking for Maui's list, he will say his list eventually, but he will react to mine. Okay, so that's how the segment works. Okay, let's get started. Maui, I don't think you're gonna have an argument with me about number 1 because at number 1 I have Jake Figueroa of the NU Bulldogs, and I think it's pretty deserving to have him as currently the MVP favorite for this season. NU is the number 1 team at 7-2. he is carrying this NU team each and every game. Maybe except against the first round win against UP, where he really struggled. Every other game, he's carried this NU team. And he's clutch as well. If you remember their first round win against UST, he hit those 2 threes to seal the win. The playmaking he did in the round one win over Ateneo. I'm trying to remember what else. The game against Adamson, where he also made clutch plays. So he's been clutch. He's been carrying this team. We said it in our last episode, Maui. They only added Omar Jan to this current roster. Diba? Si Omar Jan lang yung big difference. But I think ikaw yung nagsabi, and I give you credit for this. It has also taken a Jake Figueroa leap in his game to get them to this level. And he's completed this game. Siguro only a good outside shot na lang, but he's taking it and he's hitting it. Yung mid-range niya has been solid already. He's always been a good defender, a great defender actually. And everywhere, if you look at the stat sheet, rebounds, blocks, assists, steals, everything. He's doing everything yung for this team yung as a number one option. Your thoughts, Maui? I think you'll have Jake Figueroa too. Yung tama ba?
Yeah, definitely. I was actually looking at the numbers of Kevin Cambao from a season ago. And he averaged 17 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Figueroa is actually averaging something very close to that. 16 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. So I think there should be no argument with NU leading the way. With NU leading the way at 7-2, with this crazy season and only 2 losses, only to UP. NU has lost only to UP. I think Figueroa is the man to beat for MVP for this season. I don't know if he's the number one in terms of statistics, but I would be pretty sure that he's probably in the top 5 or top 3 in terms of statistics, especially if you remove your FSAs, which is not included. But I would think that maybe Boleros and the UAAP MVP could be the same based on how Figueroa has been performing. Not just on the floor, but really yung statistics niya. Definitely no argument. My number one candidate for MVP is Jake Figueroa.
Yeah, and I actually, now you brought up a good point, and I did want to say this. This is the Boleros MVP. It's not the UAAP MVP. We don't care about that award. It's racist.
Hindi kami gumawa ng own statistical points namin.
Oh, hindi kami gumawa ng own statistical points namin. So we count the stats, but we also count the team record, the storylines, of course, the narrative that players have for this season, the clutch moments that they have. Okay, so it's not the same as the UAAP MVP. So for number 2, I don't know if you have this the same, Maui, but I had Mike Phillips of De La Salle Green Archers. Now this is where stats come into play because he is putting up monster numbers for La Salle. We forgot to mention he had like 4 spectacular dunks in the first half against UE. I think he had 2 putbacks and then 2 other two-handed slammers. Grabe, no? Talagang he loves dunking against Precious Momoway. I do remember last season, he did dunk on Precious Momoway also. But yeah, Mike Phillips, La Salle is now number 2. He's been awesome from the start of the season. He's been La Salle's, I think, most important player. Diba? Despite having...
Most consistent and important.
Yep. Not really a good FSA in Bright Noanco. They've stayed alive because they have the cheat code that is Mike Phillips. He's all over the place defensively. I said this when their defense was bad in their first 5 games. He's covering for a lot of the deficiencies of his other teammates. But now that their defense is way better, I think Mike Phillips is able to put more effort and energy into rebounding, grabbing offensive rebounds, and getting points on the board. I don't know if you had him at number 2, but I definitely had him at number 2. It also helps that La Salle is now the number 2 team.
Yeah, actually, very good point. Yung last point po. If we did this probably a few weeks ago, I'd probably put UST
By the way, Maui,
players.
I just did this after today's games. So I had a different number 2 prior to today's games.
I'd
Just
probably
so you
put
know.
another a UST player at number 2. If not for that 3-game losing streak. But I think si Mike Phillips deserves the number 2 slot. He's been, I think, unanimously the MVP pick of everyone from the off-season. I think it did not help that Lasal was losing early on, but the numbers have been crazy. 13 points, 15 rebounds, close to 4 assists, a steal and a block. Putting up numbers maybe better than last season. And leading Lasal on both ends of the floor. I think yung importance na is understated this season. And it's one of the main reasons why Lasal has risen from the dead despite losing their 2 top players in Mason Amos and Kian Baclaan. I think si Phillips has done a masterful job, and I'm just hoping and praying every day that he eventually gets a Philippine passport eligible to play for the national team. I'm a bit thankful that he was included to SEA Games lineup with Kamani Ladi because that could bolster his chances in the future. But yeah, the top 2 candidates of Gab is probably the same for me. Not just because of the stats, but really, generally speaking, because they're also the top 2 teams in the UAAP. The value of a top 2 seed in the UAAP is so underrated. Not a lot. If we look at the numbers, I'd probably say that 70 or 80% of the time, the top 2 seeds don't get dethroned and don't reach the finals. And these 2 guys have done a good job, despite all the hype from the preseason from these 2 guys.
So you didn't have a UST player at number 2. You also had Mike Phillips. Okay,
Yeah.
wow. We're the same. Okay, at number 3, I'm not sure where that UST player is, Maui, but I did not have a UST player at number 3. I had yung nasobran. Okay, so na-spoil na. yung nasobran na click. So for number 3, I had Harold Alarcon. He's been awesome lately for UP, taking the mantle as the number 1 guy.
Finally,
We've been waiting for this for 3 seasons. It's finally happened that Harold Alarcon has taken on, has put on his Superman cape or his Batman cape, whichever superhero you want, and he's carrying this UP team, especially in key stretches in their most recent games. I don't think it's gonna be an argument for some UP fans or any other UP fan for if it's Rayder Mogat yung over Harold Alarcon, or if it's Gani Stevens, or if it's Noy or if it's Noruka. I mean, si Harold Alarcon has been their best player, bar none. So sometimes it's Gani Stevens, probably their most important because of how he plays in that power forward slot. But si Harold Alarcon has been carrying this team. Just look at their last win against the NU Bulldogs. That 4th quarter, he was cooking Santiago, he was cooking Francisco, and he was scoring nearly every time down the floor. He was near unstoppable. That high pick and roll between him and Gani Stevens, I think, is going to cause problems for a lot of teams. His numbers, Maui, may not really pop out compared to the first 2, but I think for UP at 6-3, you'll find a lot of supporters for Harold Alarcon as an MVP candidate. Again, we don't just count the stats. We look at the team performance. We look at how the player has been performing, especially in crucial games and in crucial moments. And Harold Alarcon has definitely delivered. At number 4, I had Colin Sakoe. I'm not sure if this is the UST player you had on your list. It may be si Nick Cabanero, but I'm more partial to Collins because I think he's UST's most important player. Kahit na magka-bad game si Nick Cabanero or kahit si Forsky Padrigao, as long as naglalaro at nasa floor si Collins Akoe, may chance ang UST because again, they don't have any front court depth. It's just Collins Akowe. If you put in Echo Laure, they're gonna suffer. And they're not playing si Koji Ben the floor anymore. So it's just si Echo Laure as their backup big. So si Collins Akowe has been getting the numbers. I think is a near 18 and 16 ata yung last na tingin ko sa stats. So I'm not sure if that's accurate, but points, rebounds, blocks, you cannot discount his defensive presence. Teams plan around him. I think he's USC's. You talk about valuable. He's definitely USC's most valuable player, because if he's not on the floor, they are cooked. If he's injured, they are cooked. So
Echo Laure time.
Echo Laure time, Koji Ben on floor time, and they're gonna get cooked. So si Collins Akowe, I think, is USC's most valuable player, and I had them higher on this list. As I said, I had them at number 2 actually, because they were the number 2 team for majority of the UAP season. But now they're down to number 5. I cannot. I had to put him down a notch, but he still had an impressive season. I think he's gonna run away with Rookie of the Year. But let's see kung makabawi ang UST, and maybe he'll be back at my number 1 or my number 2 slot in the latter part of the season. Maui, your reactions to my 3 and 4?
Yeah, actually, it's pretty crazy. Diba? If we made this list maybe a few weeks ago, I had 2 UST players on my top 5. I think I've said this on our group chat. Si Caballero has also been playing on an MVP level, and Collins Akowe is so much valuable to UST. But because of their 3-game losing streak, I understand why si Phillips and Figueroa has to be higher. And I'd probably rank him 4 or 5 in my list. I'm trying to finalize my list as we go. But I think si Alarcon is a good pick. I would have put si Caballero at 2 or number 3 when UST was at the top. And now, with UP also rising and tying Lasal at number 2, I think si Alarcon deserves a lot of credit, because it's no coincidence. When he started to play pretty well, that's when UP really started to find their groove in the first round. I think he's had an up and down season, but so far probably his best in the UAAP. He's been pretty impressive in games that they need baskets, and he's been their go-to guy. And finally, I think this is the Harold Alarcon that we've been waiting for the past 2 seasons. He has that glow this season na nakakatakot when he has the ball in his hands. I think that's why he should be in the MVP list. I would probably agree that he's number 3 on my list too. But I was actually contemplating of putting another person as my number 3. Somebody from a team that could be dangerous in the second round.
Oh, sige, Maui, we'll go to your complete list later. But let me just finish mine. I had Jacob Cortez at number 5. Now, again, the numbers might not support this. I don't think he's averaging the same amount of numbers as si Jake Figueroa, si Mike Phillips. But you cannot argue the importance and how he has orchestrated this LaSalle offense the past 4 games. The past 4 games that they've won, it's been a Jacob Cortez show. And again, I said this, aside from the UE game nung comeback win nila nung first round, where he just took over in the 4th quarter yung after Kian Baklaan yung went down. The other games, he's including the one a while ago against UE, he's just been fine orchestrating. And I think that's the value of having a point guard like Jacob Cortez.
He will give you what you need.
He will give you what you need. He will score when you need it. He will get assists when you need it. And he will set up his teammates when you need it. Again, he does not get sped up. That's what's most impressive for me. He's been really important to LaSalle these past 4 games. Really, really important, because he's now the focal point of the focus of all defenses. They're now zoning in on him, but he has used it to empower his role players, to make his teammates more aggressive, and to give confidence to his teammates and to his own team. So Jacob, I wanted to put Nick Cabanero here, but he's been struggling, and USD has been struggling. So
Hard to
I
put two
want,
players.
yeah, hard to put two players from UST when they are now at number 5. So I put Jacob Cortez. I think Mike Phillips has the numbers, and it's also pretty important, but I don't think you can discount the contributions of Jacob Cortez. Sige, Maui, you give your top 5.
Yeah, actually, my top two, I think that's unanimous. Figueroa and Phillips. And then I was supposed to put si Cabanero at number 3 and maybe si Akowe at 5. But since they started to slide, the numbers of Caballeros has also fallen. I think I would probably put Akowe at 3, Alarcon at 4, and I wanted to put si John Ray Pasaol from FPU.
He was my
Kasi,
honorable mention, actually.
yeah, because I don't feel comfortable putting two players from the same team, despite being the biggest Jacob Cortez fan. You have to. I had to choose. After my early season MVP list of Cabanero and Akoy being in it, I mean the UAP is so fickle at the moment. Anything can happen, and I think si John Ray deserves a lot of credit with how much he's risen. The stats show it. I think it's important to FPU on both ends of the floor. Also shows it. It's why they struggled during their last game despite Bautista and Konate scoring 20 apiece. I think he has to be the head of the dragon for FPU. He has to have a good game, a good scoring game, and a good facilitating game. You just saw how crazy he was against Ateneo, putting up 13 assists in a UAAP game, and still scoring and defending and getting his usual steals and blocks. I think si Pasaol deserves to be part of my top 5, which is why I'm putting him at number 5. And maybe a few wins could get him, could make him really legitimate as a legitimate MVP candidate.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of Jan Ray. I think the record goes against him, but I'm not angry at him at you putting him at number 5. He has had a very amazing season, and I think he's running away with most improved player so far. And that's it for our top 5 MVP candidates so far for UAAP season 88. Again, we'll be on a bit of a break. I'll be out of the country. Si Maui will do stuff. I don't know. Si Sammy also will do their own stuff. But we'll be back maybe Sunday or Monday to give an episode. And also, if you're interested, we forgot to say our caps are still available. Okay, so the order link is also in the description. We'll pin it also as a comment if you're interested in purchasing our Boleros caps. And till the next time, see ya.